Welcome back, everybody. Episode 3 of the City of Palms podcast. Today is a special one. It's a special one because we've got our first guest on here. And this guest, his name is Nate Traveler. Me and Danny have both known him for a long time. It's really cool to have him as our first guest up in here. Danny's got a lot more to say than I do because he's got history with this man. But before we start, I'll just give a brief intro on how this connection sort of happened on my end. Like I said, Danny's got a lot more to say. So I went to high school with Nate, and we weren't really cool or anything. We just went to the same high school or whatever, and we knew each other. But I first found out about Nate through his music. I was living in Pennsylvania at the time, and I don't remember exactly what track or whatever I first heard of yours, but I know it was on SoundCloud, and I remember hearing it. And it's one of those things where once you hear a local artist and you're like, oh shit, I know them, or whatever, they're making music now. But it was different than that. It was you hear certain people, and there's a handful of dudes around here and certain groups around here that you hear it and you're like, yo, that's fucking good, you know? And it's and you feel you're biased because you know them or whatever, so you think it's better than it is. But no, there's a certain handful of people around here, and hopefully we can get them all on the podcast eventually. But
absolutely,
Nate Traveler is definitely one.
It's a good start right here.
Yeah, dude. I'll let Danny take it away from here. He's got some stuff to say, but let's jump right into it.
Let's get it.
How's it going, bro?
Danny.
Yeah, it's been a long time, dude.
For real.
Hell yeah, you've always been I've always looked up to you, dude. I remember meeting you I was a freshman in high school, and I don't know, I saw you and I was like, dude, he's that man, straight up. You're just, hell yeah, you were that homie. And then, dude, we've got stories we can get into. I don't know, really. We can start by I don't know, what you been up to, man? What's new with you?
I just been trying to, keep that homeostasis, dude. Just roll with the punches day to day. About to move out to LA here soon. Just chilling with my family pretty much, honestly. But I haven't really even been in and out of the studio a lot. But I'm about to be out in Silver Lake and Pulse Music Group, where I just signed. They have they have 2 studios in Silver Lake and then 4 in Burbank. I don't know if you guys are familiar with LA, but
not really. But
I'm just
that's
gearing
amazing.
up to get to work, basically.
Dude, that's amazing. I like hearing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Definitely a lot in the works still. It feels it's only the beginning. I definitely haven't gotten comfortable.
That's crazy to hear, because just hearing your music, dude, it's I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't imagine that.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy sitting here how we are now. I remember back in lacrosse, dude. Back in lacrosse.
Real. That's what I was gonna say. When we first, I feel like that's not when we first linked up, was it? Through lacrosse?
I think
we had mutual friends.
Yeah, I think we probably met up through Richard and through Shrimpy for sure. Actually, I remember one of the first memories I have with you is you and Ty picked me and Shrimpy up and took me to a storage unit. You took us to a storage unit where you guys had a band practice
Fly
South.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, dude. Leroy was, I think, the singer.
Fucking Leroy, dude. Eric, Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
That's how Fly South, dude. Y'all need to keep going. Don't stop that shit.
Yeah, so that was the first when I saw you into music. You were the piano person, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you killed it then, yeah.
Bro, and what's crazy is I didn't even really know how to play piano freely. I just knew how to hit notes on time. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So that, I never learned how to freestyle. I was always just showing up and just playing my part.
Jeez, that's crazy. Hell yeah.
But when you're in a band, it looks like they're just everyone's up on stage, just
yeah. Hell yeah. And then, after that, I remember, it was a while before I saw you really, get into music from a friend standpoint. I remember we chilled a lot at Richard's house. Shout out, Richard.
Hey.
And, but, when I first saw you breaking out independently with music was one day after I was at your house. We went to the beach, you, me, Dom, and Dylan.
Hey,
And
bro, Dylan. Yo, we're about to go all the way in the archive, right?
straight up, dude, straight up. So yeah, we had a good time at the beach. You remember that day, right? You remember that night? Yeah. And then so we ended up at your house that night, and I remember seeing a piano keyboard set up, and you were like making beats on it. You were
Bro,
like, yeah.
someone like yoked on my car on the way home, right? Was
Yeah,
that night
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love her, bro.
Yeah, that night was crazy, dude.
Bro, I'm dead.
Yeah, I remember, do you want to get into that night more?
We'll keep it rolling.
All right.
Dom puked on my car.
I remember that girl that we were with. I remember, she was,
what was her name, Nella?
Nella, yeah.
That's not Nella, dude.
She was like passed out. I remember me and Dom were like carrying her to the car.
Bro.
Dom let it slip actually one time, and it's just funny times. I remember that night, and that night was cool though. We all went back to your house, stayed the night
And
there.
I was fucking with Beats over there.
Yeah, well, I don't think you made a beat that night, but I remember you telling me, you were like, yeah, this is like, you had like a salt lamp next to it. You were like, yeah, this is my setup right here. I've been making beats on it right here.
That was when I first really started picking up beats.
Hell yeah, that's when I saw you first doing it independently. So I was like, I thought that was cool. And then
so fire.
The first song I heard, I think it was Ice. I heard it on SoundCloud, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? This guy can sing. This is like, holy shit, like,
that was
straight up.
recorded like in the middle of a room, bro, like wooden floors, like the acoustic wasn't even that crazy.
No way.
In the room, yeah, and I just threw that together, and I remember listening to it the night of and being like, man, I don't know if I like this, I don't know if anyone's gonna like this. Should I drop this? Should I not drop this? And then I woke the next day and was just like, fuck it, I'm dropping it. And I dropped it. And I immediately was just getting like awesome feedback. That was the first time I was ever like, damn, like, I think I could do this shit.
Hell yeah. That's sick, dude. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, when I first heard that song, definitely I was just like, yeah, he's like, this is it, dude. I mean, I remember I was like, he's gonna make it for sure. Like that, I don't know, dude. I mean, and hearing Dom too, hearing like his first stuff way back when we were kids, I was like, dude, if he just keeps with it, him too, he's gonna make it. And shout out Dom, dude. He's out there.
For real, dude. Starboy, bro. Like, he broke through the barrier, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I feel like there was like a glass ceiling or something there, and this man just like fucking
you too,
Willy Wonka that shit. But I'm taking it a little bit different of a route. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing more of like a writing thing, like for bigger artists. Like I'm still doing like my artistry as well, but I'm holding that off a little bit, putting some space in between me and a few other characters out here.
Okay.
So I could kind of have my own release, my own.
That's awesome.
Like,
hell yeah.
There's a certain way I want to go about it, you know? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, let's take it there, bro.
Yeah, dude. And then like I've got stuff I can add in just because like there's certain things I know about you that I'd just be interested to hear about. But like let's get into the stories, man. What do you gotta say?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, where do we begin? Let's see. Yeah. I mean, that's like one of the things I was saying. You always showed me a lot, like, you know, just when I was a young kid, and that was one of them. You just showed me like, I don't know, you showed me a lot in that reality. Like, I don't know, we did a lot of stuff together, you know, and like we had a lot of experiences together, and like
mind opening shit.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have wanted anyone else by my side through it, because like I put all my trust in you, and I knew like nothing bad's gonna happen. I'm with Nate, you know. It was literally
because like I was like a device that you used to put trust in, but really you just put trust in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess so. Dude, you're still out here. You're still opening my mind years later. Straight up, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, no, that is crazy. Yeah, we did a lot of fun shit together. I remember. One crazy. We're in your car, you and I, just you and me, and we were in there, and we were just looking up at the sky and just talking, and like that was one thing I'll never forget, dude. Just like sitting in your Jeep,
chopping
with
it up.
Nate Morales,
and bro,
chopping it
it's
up.
crazy. I feel exactly where you're coming from too, because it's like you can't really even like wrap your mind around and fully explain these times we had. Because one, it was like a minute ago, but like you know how it made you feel. You
exactly.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially like coming out of retrograde, like I don't know, like if we really like if you guys follow that too much, like I feel like communication has definitely been on some type of wave this whole month. You know what I'm saying? So I totally feel you know what I'm saying, as far as like, cause like I wouldn't even know how to like reach back and really like explain how much those moments meant to me, you know what I'm saying? But I remember, bro, like channeling you, Shrimpy, bro, like just chopping up, looking at the clouds, like, yo, you can disintegrate clouds and shit.
Yeah,
you know
you showed me that
like,
too. That was life changing, dude.
For real, bro. And like, again, like, this is shit like that I was just like, I was open to, and I was like receiving at the time, and I was really like intense. Me and Terrell, we were very intense, you know, about what we like believed and what we like felt that we knew. So like, we just wanted to share it with like people, you know what I'm saying? And so it was just dope to have homies like you that were around and like, and open and receptive, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit meant a lot to me, you know, because a lot of kids just called us crazy, you know what I'm saying? And, or didn't even, like, just didn't want anything to do with it, you know? And, like, I understand that, too, because life can be scary when you don't understand it, you know? But, like, and I still don't fucking, like, have my, I don't know if I ever will, like, in this, you know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I remember just, like, one thing about that I was, like, I don't know, I always had like a good feeling, like, yeah, I can trust this guy, but like, one thing that like linked it to it was, you were always talking about like 47 and stuff, and like, and like nonstop, and like, me and Shrimpy, I had told Shrimpy, like, even when we were in like middle school, I was like, I can't stop seeing 47, like, I was like, everywhere I looked.
Bro, I remember that, you were on 47 before it was even, like, I remember we talked about this a while ago, and you already had something with the number, and I'm pretty sure Shrimpy told me that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. It was crazy. Like, I remember seeing 47 everywhere, and then I remember like you were like telling like Shrimpy about it, and Shrimpy was like, dude, you were saying like you saw it everywhere, and it was just like, yeah, this like link, and so yeah, like once I linked up with you, and then I mean, you were just started like giving me all this knowledge, and I hell yeah, dude.
Hey, is that why your Instagram handle is King Lombardo 47?
Yeah, I made that with him. Like, we were chilling one night.
You heard it here first.
And he was like, dude, he's like, we're a group of kings. Like, straight up, we're kings. Like, we're kings. We're gonna like make our own reality. Like, we manifest destiny, dude. We're a group of kings right here. And I was like, I gotta change that handle, dude. King Lombardo 47.
And even, bro, and it's crazy because even back then, you know, it's like those things were like so easy for me to say, but I didn't even necessarily feel it all the way within myself, you know? But like, I knew it was like there was a seed that was there, you know what I'm saying? And like, we just had to stay on top of it, like stay watering it. Like, and like I said, like even now, like, you know, I feel like I'm just like breaking through, like I'm just hitting green, you know? So it's gonna be a long journey. I'm just glad I have people that appreciate what I do, bro. Like, enough for you guys to even call me in here, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just like, I think it's dope as fuck, bro. Like, two brothers, like, pursuing shit, bro, like, together. Like, that shit's very symbolic, bro.
Thank you.
And dude, that's something, like, that I've started to get on these past, like, since moving back from Pennsylvania. Just because, like, sometimes you feel like you're just, like, one dude, or just, like, two brothers, and, like, there's all these people that are, like, doing shit, and, like, they're on their grinds, and you just kind of feel like nothing compared to them. And like, even starting this podcast and considering like getting guests, there's certain people, like including you, where like when I would roll the thought around to be like, yeah, but like they're doing their thing, like they don't have time for this, or like, and then like, but then you realize like we're all people, and there's still like a handful of people that I want to get in here that I'm still intimidated by, but I'm keeping that in mind, where it's like, they're people, and like, yeah, they might be too busy to like get in here, but like, it's at least worth a shot, you know, because people like us who are genuinely into what people do, whether it's like the artists I meet at Kava, or like local musicians that I literally listen to their music all the time on Spotify, and like, sometimes it's just like a local thing where like I'll download their music just cause like they're from around town and like I want to support. But like, there's people that I have on my like most of my playlist honestly is like developed into like these local people that I just genuinely love. Whenever it shuffles into one of your guys' songs, I'm like, fuck yeah,
let's get them all on here, dude.
Right? And like, dude, there's certain groups of people, certain artists out here that like I'm just so hyped on. And dude, it's funny, Danny has been big on like getting me on certain people. Like, I remember I was at work one day, and like I've been going through a pretty tough breakup, and he sent me the song, cause you've been on some good features too, dude. Like, you've got your own projects that are fucking dope. But like, dude, some of the features you've done are like some of the shit I bump on repeat, dude. And no, the song "Don't Speak" that you did.
I knew that was That's how Matt.
Yeah, dude. Because he texted me that song. I was in the middle of my shift at work at like 5 a.m, and he was going to work. He just sent me that song when it dropped, and he's like, "Yo, listen to this. You're gonna like it." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Downloaded it on Spotify, bumped it. I listened to it probably like 5 times on repeat after that, and now it's one that I listen to all. It's cool to see like at the end of the year all the shit you listen to a lot of on Spotify, because I really realized like, these are the dudes that I fuck with heavy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That was cool seeing that come around too, and just seeing how many people, like, I was in there, like, top 5 most played and shit like that. It's just like, you know, it's like I would have never, like, really imagined it like this. You know, it's like I had the hopes and then the ambition to, like, push myself, but then, like, it meets you where you meet it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really write what's going to happen, but you can just dedicate to your target and just, like, sprint at it. It's like, somebody said it, like, really well. It's like, you can choose the destination, but you can't choose the route.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, damn, like, this shit just hit, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, even same with, like these guys you're going to get on here, you know? Like, who knows how, like, but just know, you know? Like, if you continue to put your heart in this, that they will. These are the homies, too, you know? So these are, like, very reachable people. It's just they're out and about. We're in an intense time right now, like, different homies hopping out, signing contracts, doing things, so, but, I mean, definitely keep tabs, bro. Like, the best approach is just to hit them, like, direct with, like, a message, let them know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a huge fan, like, I'm from your area, like, and I feel like most of these kids, like, I've just been around them enough, young men, are just, like, nice enough to understand and just be a part of this scene, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and obviously there's certain people that, like, have gotten so big, or people who are already big that you dig, where, like, obviously if you DM them, they're probably not even going to see it, but, like, these local dudes that I respect, like, there's certain people that I know, like you, I knew of you because of, like, high school and shit, but, like, there's other people that I've never met before, but they live around here, like, that guy Busy, that you did this song with.
We're going to get Busy on here, bro.
I was just talking.
You want to get Busy on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
bro,
just
I'll
talking
call
about
Busy
him.
before we even leave here, dude.
Yeah, because he was one dude, like, because I heard your song with him when it dropped, and I was like, hell yeah, dude, and then I found that whole album and listened to it, and then just the other day I was going through, like, his whole, like, stuff he's done on Spotify, just going through it all, and I'm like, dude, this guy, it'd be really cool to, like, sit down and talk with him, and I try to, like, keep in mind that we're all human, and, like, if I just send him, like, anytime I'm, like, bumping his shit heavy, I'll, like, share it on my Instagram story just to be like, everyone should bump this, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, if it's something you really love, then you should, like, try to get it out there because other people are going to love it too. And then just seeing people that'll, like, share it on their story or just, like, reply and be like, hey, thanks a lot, bro. It just does show that, like, we're all human. We all appreciate that, like.
Bro, and he's a real down-to-earth guy too, man. Like, you could hear it in his project, you know, just, like, transparency and shit. And, you know, like, I'm going to rewind a little bit, like, to what you just said, like, you're going through a breakup, you know what I'm saying, as of recent, like, dude, like, that's very real, you know what I'm saying, and, like, I'll be sending you good vibes throughout it, because I know that's not easy, you know, and bless you, bro, because you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and his, not to make this the Busy podcast or whatever, but, like.
We can do it, dude.
But he's a talented dude. Like,
Absolutely, bro.
Like I said about the bias thing, where, like, obviously if you are local and there's these local dudes, you're going to want to support them because they're your homies, but I didn't even know who he was, and then I listened to his stuff, hear his lyricism and stuff, and that's something I'm real into. Like, if you've got good rhymes, dude, I fuck with it heavy, and that dude does, and, dude, it's only the beginning.
Bro, absolutely. I'm gonna take a picture of you guys even, like, right now, mid-podcast, just to catch this vibe.
For sure, dude. And then one thing, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but, like, one thing that I do know about you is, that whole, like, just, like, you're super big on, like, organic, and you said that you're vegan and gluten-free and stuff like that, and that's something that, like, I've been vegetarian for a really long time, but, like, I didn't really mess with a whole lot of that health stuff until, like, recently. Like, I had a pretty bad skate injury, and I just know there's you and a handful of other people that I've seen, like, been doing it, you know what I'm saying, and, like, I'm kind of using that as inspiration to, like, you know, take care of your body, because...
Good shit, dude. It's important, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when you take care of your body takes care of you, your mental, you know? It takes care of you. So it's like, it's just one of those things, like, whoever said... I think it was, I don't even know, I didn't even want to try to, like, say who it was. They said let food be thy medicine. It's just, like, it's such a real thing, you know? It's like, when you eat, you're putting that in that's what you're feeding your cells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not even a matter of, like, how many carbs I'm taking in, or how much fat I'm eating, or sugars I'm eating. It's like...
Is the food nutritionally dense? You know what I'm saying? Is it alkaline? Is it from the source, or is it from greed? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does it come from? Where does the paper trail lead to? Like, the earth, or someone's pocket. It's like,
right?
It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and so you're on a whole nother level, man.
No, but dude, in the same sense, it's like, bro, I'm so right here with you guys. Cause like, dude, I wake up every day, bro. And like, I sweat myself probably the exact same way, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's the best part about this, bro, is that like, we have to be open. We have to communicate with each other, because it's just like, we're really all very similar, dude. I feel like we're way more similar, like, to where like, if we saw outside the lines, like some people would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like we're all so alike, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and that's so dope that you've even been on that, you know, and that you think that way, that collective like consciousness of like, you see other people doing like something for themselves, and you're like, it inspires you. You allow that to inspire you, instead of you like turning it and making it like some type of like, oh, like separating it, you know?
Yeah, because like you said, some people just see it as like weird, or like if you're on something that is not the normal route or whatever. Like if everyone goes to McDonald's drive-thru and just like picks up dollar menu or whatever, everyone stops at the drive-thru and does this. But like if you're on a different level, and like now it's more popularized where it's not as weird, but like there's certain diets that when people get on, a lot of people like even nowadays still see it as like you're a weirdo or whatever. Like I know people who, I'm not even vegan. Like I try to eat vegan as much as I can. But I don't call myself vegan because I do cheat and stuff like that. But I've been vegetarian for a really long time, and people always give me shit for it. And like, dude, there's people who like ridicule me if I ever mention that I'm like eating vegan or whatever.
It's really like that.
What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm not telling you to not eat this way. Like, I just don't want to put my body full of shit.
And I feel that, and it's the way it's set up, because you have extremists on both sides, and those extremists keep each other where they're at. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like people who still like eat meat and stuff will look at the people who don't eat meat like, oh, they're pompous, or they think they're better. Like, that's why it's really important to never like try to like create any type of hierarchy, or is that the word for it? Because it's just like, really, we're all on the same level. I saw there is one like old like saying that's just like, it's what defines a man isn't what comes out of his mouth, or isn't what goes in his mouth, but what comes out of his mouth. And it's just like, that's so real, you know? It's like, I could be a vegan piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, you know? It's like you gotta like, I feel like just serving others, like connecting with the community, and just doing your best, yo. You know, like if you learn something new, like be a scientist, like test it, you know what I'm saying? And if it works for you, then continue, you know?
And then being susceptible to like, to other points of view and to other ways of thinking, because there's so many people who are just closed-minded, and obviously you see it in like politics, and you see it in like all sorts of different like areas of society. But even like, it's just weird that it's even a thing with diet. And like you said, it's not only the people that eat meat that are like, oh, screw vegans. Like they're not the evil ones, because like you said, on the other side, the reason that some people are so strongly against veganism is because there are those people
that are extreme.
Yes, who are very, very against meat eaters and like ridicule people for eating meat. And I always try to express that I'm the type of person that I don't care what you eat. I personally believe that this is what's best to eat. And like, if you want to do that too, that's cool. I think you should, but I'm not going to tell you to, because it's your body, you know? And I think diets are different person per person. Obviously there's things that I don't think anyone should consume, but in the end, it's like what you need for your body. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And that's why it makes me mad whenever people like get onto me and like push me to like eat like they eat. Dude. And I'm like, bro, just get out of here.
Dude, I've been there, and you know, I have celiac disease as well, so I can't eat gluten. So you know, I'll have times where like there was this one time I was in Chicago. Shout out Clark. And I went to this one food place, and I told her like 4 times. I was like, I have celiac. I was like, it needs to be gluten-free, it needs to be gluten-free. And then I let her know the last time, I was like, I have celiac disease. I will really, like, it will affect me. It's an autoimmune disease. Luckily, when my body's healthy, I'm young, I got a fast metabolism, I can break it down, I can handle it. It's still, I feel it, like, it's a week, it's drawn out. It's more my immune system than just, like, any, like passing out or any crazy reaction to it, you know what I'm saying? It just really affects my immune system. So I went in and I told this woman, she's like, oh, yes. Like, people would just be in one ear, out the other with it. And then I can tell every time, like, I just have this, like, barometer with the shit, because it's my body. My body knows. It's not even my mind. Like, my body knows. It's like, yo, she doesn't know. Like, don't trust this. And so I end up getting it, and then I go out. This guy gives me a look when I tell, because I'm telling her so much. He gives me this weird look from behind the counter, and he ends up being the dude that brings out my food, and he puts it on the table, and he's like, so can I just ask you, like, are you really, like, allergic to gluten, or do you just do it because, and I'm just like, he's asking because in his head, he's like one of those guys. It's like, oh, yeah, it's just a fad. Like, and I'm like completely aware of it. So anyways, I'm like, no, like I really am allergic to it. And then so boom, after I said that, he still puts it on the table. Boom, I eat this whole meal. I get like 2 blocks after what I'm eating. And immediately I feel, so I could tell, like I feel like I'm pretty in tune with my body, like, and I could tell something's not up. And so I immediately called and I was like, hey, what do you, like, do you cross fry the tofu? And the dude was like, here, let me ask. And then he gets back to me and he's like, yes, like we do cross fry. And I'm like, with all their gluten stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, dude, I freaking flipped that. I was like, put your manager on the phone right now. This is a huge deal. And I was like, I should really, I could sue you guys, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'm not going to do that. She's like, what do you need? I'll take you to the hospital. I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I was like, I need probiotics and marijuana. Like, I told her straight up, dude. And the chick cut me off like $90, dude.
Really?
I came back. I was like, I don't want to hang out. Like, I don't want to go to the hospital with you. I need like money so that I can go get like antibiotic or probiotics. Because there's these certain probiotics that are really good with the gut. So I just try to hop on that immediately when I fuck up.
Yeah.
And she just like cut me off $90, dude, right there. And I walked out. I was just
That's
like,
awesome.
dude, I know it was awesome, but it's just like I would rather have my health on fleek than her $90. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, it's still dope though that she did it. That she like did that for me, but it's just real, like with this health stuff, like there's certain people out there that they're just angry at themselves and they like, I don't know, for whatever reason that translates
100%.
to them like not wanting to accept other people, like
Yeah.
in many ways, and then also just your diet, like
Yeah, like a lot of people, I feel like they have such a hard time breaking out of that mindset that they grew up in. You know what I mean? Like I was like 16 years old. I just started working in like the kitchen of a restaurant. And it was a pretty nice restaurant though, and the chef was a pretty educated chef, well educated, went to like 7 years of culinary school in like at different states and stuff. And like, I remember we would have like a gluten-free order come back, and one time I remember one time specific, it was, cause I was the fry person, so it's just kind of important. And, it was, somebody came back with a celiac disease, and the chef's like, not worrying about it, but like one guy was, and then and I was trying to, cause I was new to the kitchen, so like I'm following the guy that's worrying about it, trying to be like, okay, what's this, like why are we worrying and shit. So I'm realizing, okay, people can't have gluten, and the chef's like freaking out, like, no, like, cause we're busy and shit. He's like, no, like, fuck it. I remember him saying, he's like, you can't have a tolerance to gluten. He's like, you're just a bitch if you do. Like, he's like, that's the only thing. And I was just like, what? Like, dude, and yeah, like, as I got older and realized, like, that's a serious thing, I'm like, I realized people can't break that mindset of, like, what they grew up thinking and hearing.
It's funny, we actually talked about that last episode. I don't remember how we got into it, but I mentioned celiac disease and how, like, there's people who can't process gluten. Because I had a friend in Pennsylvania who was the same way. And she would, like...
Is she Italian?
Yeah. And she would get flu-like symptoms. And she said it was real bad. Like, she would get really, really sick if she ate it a whole bunch. And it was kind of like you said, where, like, sometimes she would deal with it. Like, she loved certain foods so much that she would eat it sometimes, even though it would make her feel sick. But she felt so much better whenever she wouldn't. So she'd always go for the gluten-free options. Shout out Aldi, because I actually showed her Aldi, because we've got a whole bunch of gluten-free stuff. But no, she would always get mad at people who did it just as like a diet fad or whatever, because there's people who are just like following a trend, and she'd be like, I'm here, I can't eat it. I literally cannot eat it.
It's when you trend and you break it. It's when you like trend, like you're committed to it, and then it's just like, but you're like, nah, because then it opens up that window for people to be like, oh, this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
like at Moe's, I didn't know what celiac was when I used to work at Moe's, but there were certain people that would say that it had a gluten allergy, and we'd have to change our gloves because we were touching tortillas. And I was always super strict about like cross contamination and stuff. So like anytime there was someone like that, I'd tell everyone on the line, either let me take this all the way down or y'all change your gloves. And sometimes I would just take it anyways, because I just feel like some people aren't as careful, and I just really wanted to like make sure the customer got what they needed.
That's so real, bro.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if they were just doing it for a fad or if they did it for like literally their health or whatever, but I didn't care because that's what they asked for.
And that's how all food service people should fucking act right there, dude. Like, just if somebody has that gluten allergy, no questions asked, bro. Immediately, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, accommodate. Like, don't fuck it up. Like,
and dude, this is kind of a sidetrack, but like just going on like how some people are just like, just like rotten in how they think and like how they were raised. I guess, I don't, like Danny said, like sometimes it's just the way you came up or whatever. That's just what you're used to. But like, I've always been the kind of dude that's trying to like accommodate, especially I work in like retail. So I am there for the customer, you know, whether it's food service or like where I'm working now. And people have gotten pissed at me before because of how out of my way. And I've got like all sorts of stories that I'll probably mention sometime on the podcast of like ways I've went way out of my way to help someone and how it's like, even though like I didn't expect anything in return, sometimes it comes back to me just because of like the universe, man, and just like just me trying to be there for someone, it'll come back to help me.
Absolutely.
But just the other day I was working at a new store, or I hadn't worked at this store before, and my first 15 minutes there, I felt like the manager already hated me. He probably didn't. He was a nice dude, but like they were super busy, so he was busy with stuff, and he just told me to like go handle something on the sales floor. And right when I got out there were 3 ladies who came up to me, and they didn't really speak English, and I know enough Spanish to where like I can help them. And they asked if I speak Spanish, and I said a little bit. What do you need? And they said that they lost important documents in the parking lot, like out of their car, and if we had them, like if someone had turned them in. And so I asked the manager on the radio. I said, "Hey, can you check the safe? There are these ladies here who lost important documents, and has anyone turned anything in?" And he's like, "No." That he immediately was just like, "No, they've been here before. We still don't have anything." And I was like, "All right." And I told them, and then they're like, "Oh, is there any way you could check the cameras? Because we don't know if it fell out of our car or if it was stolen. We don't know. Is there any way you could check the parking lot cameras?" And I told them, "No, we don't have access to the parking lot cameras. We only have indoor cameras." But I told them I could find them a number to maybe like contact the police department, and I'm sure they could get contact with whoever runs the plaza and like find whoever runs the cameras. And but then they, on Google Translate, this got to the point where the vocabulary was too much for me to handle. So they, on Google Translate, they told me, and it was so sweet because like they're really nice ladies. And then the lady just said in the translator, she said that they're afraid to contact the police because they're not documented citizens, and they're afraid. Yeah, they just said that they were scared of what was going to happen. And I was like, all right. So I got out my phone and I looked up the Naples Police Department and I called it. And then they directed me to like the Collier County Sheriff, and I contacted them. And like the whole time, like they were like super grateful, and they're just like, "Thank you so much for doing this." Like even though like it might not have led anywhere to them getting their documents, like the fact that I was going out of my way. And then like I spent a good 20 minutes on the phone with people and then translating, and then like I requested they send an officer who spoke Spanish so that they could thoroughly help these ladies. And eventually someone did show up to the store and help them. I don't know if they got their documents or not. They haven't been back since then, so I'm sure some sort of file got reported. But like, it's just sad that like I had that mindset of like, my coworkers are probably hating me. Alright, that's the alarm for the ad break, so we'll cut it in a second. But like that I had that thought of like, my coworkers probably hate me right now because I'm like going out of my way. But like, and like it's not in my job description to go call the police department for these ladies, but like they were in need, you know?
Exactly.
And I don't know, it might have been bothersome.
But that's purpose, bro. It's purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I felt even just like yesterday. Like, me and my girl, we ended up going to Miami, and we get to her friend's house before we slid out because we were bringing her friend to Miami to drop her off at the airport. And her friend's mom was just like, grandma was just like trying to figure out, every time someone would call her, it would just not even, they can't leave a voicemail because their voicemail is too full, and like she like couldn't figure it out. So I was just like, bet, like, and I just like took my time and helped her. It's just like, it's just purpose, you know. If you can be there, it's like you're meant to be there. If you're there, then you're meant to be there, you know. Like, and it's either your choice. You can either help them or not. One of them will probably make you feel better. You know what I'm saying? It'll definitely make you feel better.
And I think there's too many people that make decisions solely based on what they're gonna get out of it, you know. And like, and I don't know. Sometimes you just have to like not care. Like I remember, I think it was in like college or high school or something, I had some class where we discussed like selflessness and if that's even a thing. And because you could argue that the reason you're doing good for someone is because you want to feel good. Want to feel good, yeah. Dude,
it's crazy that you just even brought it there, because I was about to say like self-serving is such an interesting like topic, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it can mean, you could take it to extremes. It's like if I'm serving myself, like, oh, it's all about me. But then in the same sense, it's like even when you serve someone else, you do it for that good feeling. But it's like that good feeling inside you is not necessarily as small as you think you are, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's like that good feeling is like bigger than your small self, you know? So even when you self-serve, like on that level, it's like if you do it because you want to feel good, life deserves to feel good. that's a good reason to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you do it because you want to take some type of like material gain out of this, or like, then it's like there's certain like motives in there. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to like put something aside for yourself, which both of them, everybody, you got to kind of pick and choose sometimes, you know?
Because if you think, if you're like, let's say donating to like Goodwill or something, where like you can get, they'll give you the receipt if you donate a bunch of stuff and you can like write it off on your taxes or something. That's a weird example, but like let's say you do that, you're doing good for whoever receives that stuff you just donated, you're doing good for them, and then you're doing good for you because you got that good feeling, and if you want that monetary gain, you could like write it off on your taxes. But in the end, like, both people are gaining, so like I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
In exchange, exactly.
Yeah.
In exchange, exactly, bro. That's everything.
But it's funny, in today's society, you see it like illustrated in such a clear way whenever you see like these YouTubers and like people on social media filming them like giving to homeless and stuff, and it's like, bro, just give to the homeless, you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. I definitely feel that. And like, bro, I definitely feel that. And there's a difference, and you can kind of tell. Dude, it's all biblical, honestly. Like, I'm not even like a big like Bible like person, but like I just feel like certain things are like align. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's important to just some things you do like for yourself. It's like your higher self. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've like read something that's like when you make good decisions, it's like that feeling. It's like not even your feeling. It's like an affirmation from like God or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? So it's beyond like you're serving it, you know. It's like you're not like, it's not just like, oh, I do this so I can have this good feeling and like hoard this good feeling because that's fleeting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
you want to keep like, you just keep going to the next one. It's that desire to do the next one and the next one. Like the desire is where it counts.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick break real quick just to get some drinks, go to the bathroom, whatever. I'll do a quick ad break and then we'll pick it back up for the rest of it.
Hey.
All right, today's ad is a little bit different. Nate actually has something he wants to shout out, a company that he endorses heavily. What do you got to say, Nate?
Juicelation, organic cold pressed juice. I worked there for a little bit. Zen is very cool. She's a millennial that is driven, passionate about health food, and located down right after Pine Ridge in Naples. Very gas, amazing. Get you some juice ASAP.
Hell yeah. Healthy stuff, man.
Yes,
tasty
sir.
stuff. And then the next ad, I said this last week, I don't really like doing self-promotion, but I still do have my Shred Grip deal going on. If you listen to the City of Palms podcast and you hit me up on any social media, email, Instagram, Facebook, anything, my personal one or Shred Grip or City of Palms podcast, just DM me with COPP or any message relating to the podcast just to show me you listen, and you'll get 50% off any stencil art, whether it's on canvas, whether it's on grip tape, anything you want, any piece of mine, you'll get 50% off if you shout out City of Palms podcast and show me that you support. And that's all the ads we have for today. I'm going to wrap it up quick because we got a lot more topics to get into with Nate Traveler.
Let's do it.
All right, Danny has some more stories to get into with Nate because they do have history. But before we start that, I got one question that I'm going to ask all my guests, and I feel like you're going to have some interesting answers. One thing, and I've talked to Danny about this, that I want to ask everyone is if you have any like ghost stories or just like any sort of like extraterrestrial, paranormal, like any sort, or like spiritual, any sort of circumstances that are just crazy, like unexplainable stuff.
So definitely, like when I was actually a little kid, when I lived in North Carolina, there was one night when I got out of my bed and I walked into my kitchen. And for a second I was going to be like, I might have even been dreaming, but I know I wasn't dreaming because I woke up my mom. I walked into our kitchen and there was a little boy like across the room.
What?
And he was looking straight at me, and it freaked me out. I just immediately ran back, woke up my mom. Mom, this, that. And then like she was just like, wow, like maybe it was an angel, you know what I'm saying? And then I went to church my sophomore year and told them about it, and the youth pastor was like, maybe it was a demon. And I was like, of course, bro. I'm gonna listen to my mom on this one.
Mom's an angel.
For real.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, though. That is a crazy experience.
For real, yeah. I definitely have had, more experiences than that as well. I feel like psychedelics have been a big, just like, I don't even want to say ghost. Because I feel like it's like, I don't feel like there's anything that's outside of God itself. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's never like any type of like I guess, creepier, like, weird shit that I've experienced, but I feel like I've definitely just felt the presence of, like just, like, higher intelligence, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
without a doubt.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Bro, like, the Earth, bro, is like a fucking alien, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this huge organism that just, like, takes care of itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's true.
And we gotta take care of it.
Yeah, we do.
It's gonna weed us out.
For real. No, you already did once, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Who knows how many times this has really happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, and restarted, like, we don't know, so it's like, and I know, I could sit here and act like, oh, there's research here and here as far as, like, but when it comes to, like, origins, dude, like, I feel like it's just so,
Yeah.
I don't know how long, dude, like, how old the Earth is, or, I should probably look into it. maybe somebody went and figured it out.
A book or something about it.
For real. It's flat, bro.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Oh man.
You got any stories, dude?
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Like, we dug into some deep ones, but like, just I do have like some funny stories.
Bro,
like
boxing.
dude,
bro.
do you remember knocking me out, dude?
Bro, I remember that one time. It wasn't even a knockout. You got up, you ate it, bro.
Yeah.
But like, it was just both of your feet were planted. You had them both in the same, so it was just like you were off balance. But bro, we all used to box, bro, and you guys were younger, and you guys still throw hands. So
yeah. That's how like I got to where I am today. I feel like I can hold my own, but yeah, I loved that we grew up doing that.
Dude, I remember just like throwing hands with everybody, dude.
Yeah,
that was so
I know,
much
right?
fun,
That's
bro.
something we did as kids. Just like, yeah, you want a friendly fade?
Friendly fade in the front yard, dude.
Straight up.
And then me and Terrell would go at it. Weren't you the one that was there? No, that was Trevor. Or no, it was you. You were the one that was there when me and Dom boxed that one night. There was only one person outside, dude, and me and Dom like threw down.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember all those times. The time that man threw down with that one kid.
I was just about to ask if you were there because I was looking, dude, I'll show you later. I was looking on my phone. I found this photo of Dom in that fight where he fought that
Bro,
Joey kid.
send that to me, bro.
Okay,
I
got
talked
you.
about that, and I really want to fucking like.
For sure.
I want to send that shit to him.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I used to have the video. Like,
I wasn't even there for that, but I remember seeing the video. Just like,
Yeah,
bro. And
yeah.
I remember seeing the video. Dude, I felt like I was there for
when Richard fought that kid.
But I wasn't there when Dom fought.
Yeah, you were there when Richard fought, weren't you?
Yeah.
We all jumped in.
Dude.
Like, we all jumped in kind of thing.
Dude, I just remember that kid, like, walking away, and then, like, the kid was, like, saying some shit, and then Richard gets up and is just like, I still fucked your girl, bitch. Or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I remember it too. He gets up and he's like, your girl still a whore. He's like, hey, yeah, he's like, I still fucked her. She's still a whore. Like, can't we just approach this? And then just like round two happens.
Like, bro.
I know, right?
No, I remember the kid is like, he looked at him like, about to start on him, and he's like, and just like turned around and watched me like, damn, he's right. Like,
Right, yeah. There's no fighting that'll solve like fucking what happened. Yeah, that was funny.
For real.
Good times, dude.
I remember that one time that I showed up with the DMT at Richard's house, and everyone was in the garage, everyone was drinking. I don't know if you're there for that time, dude. I just remember that was like a crazy time where like I was like, damn, I don't know, should everybody do this? Like, if people had been drinking.
I think I was there.
Everyone's having so much fun, dude, after it showed up. They were just running around like, woo! For real.
Yeah, I think
The
I was
magic.
there that night. Yeah.
The magic, dude. Those drugs are magic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, opened your eyes to a lot.
Not to be abused for sure, though, dude. Like,
Yeah, all that's in the past for me, for sure.
No, bro, it has to be. It's like you can only take so much from it, you know. Like, and then when you want to take more from it after what it gave you, or like the insight, you know what I'm saying? I feel like then it's just like abusive, bro. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when like you start getting knocked on your door and shit.
Yeah, that's when some problems.
The world will just be like, yo, calm down.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, so I remember another funny story. I don't even know if it's that funny, but I can remember off-roading in your Jeep.
dude,
Like,
I told my girl about that, dude. Like, I'm
Really?
like, bro, we used to fucking shred this thing. I don't take her out like that anymore, you know, since the Big Bang. But like,
yeah.
but bro, That was fun, dude. That was so much fun. We used to whip it back there, Three Oaks, or that like little spot.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
And then we would just like post up over there and just burn down like freestyle.
Yeah, that was super
But was there
fun.
like something specific about that?
No, nothing. No, no specific story.
We
Just
would
basically
tear
that.
the shit
Yeah,
up.
tear it up. Yeah.
I remember those days, bro.
Yeah, I don't go back there anymore because they're building, but just a couple months ago I was back there fucking tearing it up on the dirt bike, and ain't shit changed back there.
Hey, so it's still there. I was actually wondering that the other day, like, is it even possible to take my Jeep out there anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I took my truck back there.
Because I remember for a little bit even there was like a little bit of a legal thing going on over there, like the cops
and then put rocks all around the
they were
entrance
like
and
trying
shit.
to like stop it or some shit.
Yeah.
Which is so lame. They should
I know,
just
right?
be like, yo, let these kids shred.
I know. I always had
It's
such
like-
an issue with that. Like I was like, what's the
if a
big
kid
deal?
smashes into a tree, though, they're all like, do you remember the rope swing?
Yeah.
In Bonita?
In Bonita, yeah.
Bro, that was crazy. Because
That
I
was a
died
huge-
at that, dude.
yeah.
Do you remember, what was that one kid, Gerardo or whatever? I don't know if you ever heard about that. But he went up and, like, didn't let go and came back down and smacked the thing, dude.
Really?
And I'm pretty sure that was it for the rope swing. I'm pretty sure everyone was like, alright,
Jeez.
done with this. And then also there's, like, that was, like, kind of stagnant water back there. There's probably,
Sketchy.
like, brain-eating fucking amoebas or whatever you call it.
Right? Yeah, it was sketchy.
We were always walking a fine line back then, dude. I swear. What we didn't know didn't kill us, dude.
Right?
Yeah, dude, I think about that. Like, as kids, me and Danny and our brothers, or like us as brothers, we would just like be around the neighborhood, like swimming in creeks and stuff. And then anytime it rained super heavy, like it had just rained, so it probably wasn't that harmful. But like when the culvert, the ditches were all full of water, I'd be like, swimming. We don't got a pool, so like let's go swim out in the front yard.
Wow.
But like thinking about those like creeks and stuff. Like, I remember adults would warn us about, like, water moccasins, like, get out of that water. Like, I remember one dude, you remember, I don't know if you were here, but at Carl Drew's, we were swimming in all the, it had, like, poured rain, so all the ditches in Carl Drew's were flooded, and we were just, all of us were in there swimming, and the dude that ran the place, dude, we were some mean little kids. His name was Mr. Eli, and he was probably a really cool dude, but we called him Mr. E. coli.
Oh my god.
because the only memory I have of him, because I don't even know how old I was. Like, I was probably a little kid, but I remember him yelling down to us, and he's like, get out of that nasty water, boy. You'll get nasty critters in your skin. And he was right. Like,
Yeah, for real, though.
but we just looked at him like, oh, you're just killing our fun.
I
You
know,
know, dude, like, he was
yeah.
so right. We could have died.
Bro, that's a real topic too, bro. Just like adults or just like parents that are like fearful for their children, and it comes from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like because they care like so much that they're like afraid. Like, that's just another interesting topic. You know, like so real.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like you gotta work. It's something we gotta work through with our like parents almost. It's like they're raising kids is probably scary as fuck, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like really, it's like you don't know like what's gonna happen, so you're just like, it's just a real topic for real.
Yeah, and like, are you an uncle? Like, do you have any nieces or nephews?
Dude, I actually don't, but I pretty much, I guess I am. Like, my girl has, like, little nephews and shit, so I feel like I'm kind of a little, like, half uncle almost. But, yeah, eventually. I look forward to it. I have little cousins that I feel like I'm, like...
Yeah. I feel like that kind of gives you, because our oldest brother has 2 kids. So, and I've been an uncle because my sister has a kid too, but like, so I got nieces and nephew of like all different ages, and it kind of like gives you that awareness that parents have. Like, I mean, like I look now and it's like, geez, this is the society that these kids are growing up in, and you try to put them, you know, I care about these kids. So like, I'm doing my best as an uncle to try to like put them in a, you know, I don't know,
Absolutely.
not such a corrupt, like...
And then you have the people that are just like, should we even bring kids into this world?
Yeah.
And you're like, when I actually take a step back and think about that, I'm like, damn, maybe I really should watch it for this world for another 10, 15 years before I make any decisions like that.
I feel the same way. It's scary. It kind of is, dude.
For real.
Especially with like the shootings and stuff. Like,
Exactly.
like just crazy stuff. Like I heard about, because I know a couple people who are teachers in the school system now, and hearing like some of the drills they go through nowadays. Like I remember when we were kids, there would be like fire drill, and then like the like code red or whatever, like the lockdown or like or whatever. But now I guess they have like a shooter drill where you have like a drill that you practice regularly, that in case someone's like shooting up the school or in case there's some sort of like terrorist threat inside the school. And like the way that they made it sound wasn't like when we were kids, I was like once a year, like just like practice going to like the code red zone or whatever the heck it was called. now it's like super intense to where like it's such a threat, you know. Something happened. Emma, our niece Emma, said something. She just casually was like, someone brought a gun to school or something. No, she said something like there was a shooting at her school. And I think she misunderstood what had happened because she just said it. She was like, yeah, there was a shooting at our school. And I was like, pretty sure I'd have heard about it if there was, but I don't remember the situation exactly, but I know it wasn't, like, there was some sort of situation at Three Oaks, but it wasn't like, I think some kid had like brought a fake gun and it like, they thought it was a real gun or something like that. But, dude, you ever wonder, I was thinking about this the other day, you ever wonder like, because we've grown up with nieces and nephews and like we've seen them from like, I mean, we were little kids when they were like babies, but like some of the things with Emma being her age, like teenager and like going into teenage years, like I've been trying to like be a father figure to her a little bit and like be there for her and like help her through some of the, especially since I'm not a dad, it's not as awkward for me because she's not like directly my kid. I'm able to like kind of be an outside source of like telling her about boys and like how to deal with like just like middle school stuff and whatever. And like, and it makes me wonder what kind of dad I'm going to be when they are my kids. Cause I feel like part of being a first time parent, obviously you're never going to be prepared for it. But like, if you go from never ever having any sort of experience with kids like that, and then like being a parent, there's so much stuff you learn. And I just wonder sometimes how it's going to be like whenever we do have kids, how like tenured we're going to be, because we've like dealt with toddlers, we've dealt with like, you know, we deal with Brandon and Bailey every day, and like
they're gonna blow your mind, dude. That's one thing I know, if anything, because I just see how like my uncle, like I feel like if the adults, if we're open and receptive to our kids, they'll teach us more than we could teach them, dude, because they're fresh out, you know. Like I feel like it's very real, and that's dope that you even say that, because like I'm not really even ever preparing myself, you know what I'm saying? So it's like something that's interesting, like maybe. Like, I'll play with my little cousins and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I never really think about, like, what type of pops I would be, you know? Like, so it's, like, definitely something to think about.
Yeah, that is.
Bro, scary, though, in the same sense. It's like I feel my parents. Like, I feel why they were, like... And my mom was afraid for me growing up, you know? And so, like, I just understand. Like, even if it's out of even if they don't even have any reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, really a good reason. It's just, like, it's your baby, dude.
Yeah.
But then, like, our parents... were like our root, and they like supplied us with like, you know, like what we need to get to where we are, and now we have to like be like the flower that like I feel like brings like new information and like new like ways down to them, you know what I'm saying?
I feel that 100%.
And it's not even like, again, not even like on a level thing. It is on a level thing because it's like, what will we be without the foundation? Each part needs the other, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I feel that for sure. Hell yeah. So one thing we can get into is like I said, we were real close for years, and then kind of went out, and like I don't really know. I mean, I know from social media what you've been up to, but like really haven't seen you in a couple of years, and I know you've been doing like your music thing and stuff. But like one question I wanted to ask is like, what made you? Because last like when we were chilling all the time and stuff. You were going to be a massage therapist. You were going to go to school for that. So I just want to know where the switch was between like when you're like, okay, I'm going to do this full on 100%. Like,
so it's like, I always knew, like I was like in the back of my head, like massage therapy was such a survival like thing for me. I was just like trying to do like something, like I'm like trying to like, that was when I was trying to like squeeze in like my dreams with like an actual career path. You know what I'm saying?
To pay bills and shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And then once I just like, started like actually doing massages, I was like, I'm not doing this shit. I don't want to touch people, dude. Like, when you start realizing that like it's like it's all that, bro. There's like greasy people and shit, and like you just gotta and bless them all. They deserve massages. I'm not the guy. So I ended up leaving. Like I was like 2 weeks until I was about to complete massage therapy.
No way,
dude. I'm so funny, dude. I'm so weird, bro. Like I made it through the whole massage therapy course, and there's like 2 weeks left, and I could have got my certification and everything, and I just like stopped showing up. I was like, nah, I'm done with this shit. I said I'm never going back there. And then I was like, I knew I wanted to do music, but then I also knew I had survived, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just get a job, and I'm gonna just keep pursuing music. And I never like it was crazy. Like I was never like, yo, like I'm gonna be like a famous rapper or anything. Like it was just like I'm gonna just keep doing this, and I know I'll find some type of place within this. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what's kind of dope about everything. Like you had Dom take off, and then like you have Matt, he's doing his thing. And I just like took a different route of kind of just doing a publishing deal as opposed to a record deal. So like what I'm doing is a co-publishing deal. So I'm basically just writing for bigger artists, like I said, and it's just a different lane, you know. Like I found my spot within it. Like I love writing, like I love melodies. Like I feel like the melody is like before the words, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, like I feel like the melody is what I feel the most connected to with that of my music, you know, like
yeah.
And then like the words, like the melody will come like instantly. Like if I'm listening to a beat, like I can find like melodies, you know what I'm saying? Like instantly, and then words can be like tricky sometimes because you gotta make sure it's all like there, you know. So like sometimes like the words can take like a month. I'm just like dissecting my writing process kind of. So like first I'll find the melodies, and then sometimes it'll immediately happen. Like the words will come instantly, or like I'll have like one-liners on my phone, and then I'll like take them out. Like I'll just like store one-liners. Like if we have a great conversation right now, there's certain things that like I'm like I'll hear that I'm just like, all right. And then I'm like, how can I put this as simple as possible?
No way.
Just write it down as a one-liner.
It's amazing.
And then I'll just store it away. And then when I get a beat, I take out my little vault of one-liners, which is like my like vault of like seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then like a one-liner can grow a whole song. So it's like, I'll take that one line, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll find a melody and a flow for it. And then from there, it'll just like grow, you know what I'm saying? And so like, it's just dope. I found my place in with an independent publishing company that's ran by artists. It's not a major label. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and there's nothing wrong with major labels, bro. I'm blessed my friends that are signed to major labels. They're going to use it and kill shit, you know what I'm saying? It's different strokes, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I love this company for real, dude. If you look at the roster, it's stacked. Amazing writers, amazing artists, bro.
Yeah, I did. I checked their website out and like, dude, I was amazed to see like, wow, like they have huge names on there, and like I'm hyped to see that, and I'm hyped to see that you took that route too, because I know you easily could have like gotten signed to like a corporate thing or something else.
I did my round for sure. I went to the record labels and it was all a mess, you know, like it just seemed like they didn't really understand my vision, and that like they weren't really on artist development. You know what I'm saying? Like they're more like, they want me when I have 3 million views. You know what I'm saying? 3 million followers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I feel like that's how a lot of them operate. And keywords artist development. Now you have a person like Dom. He's very equipped, you know what I'm saying? Like he's crazy with production. Like he's really ready to go take on a record label. Like me, like I can admit that I'm right now, I'm not in a place where I can go like fit into their system. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather write, develop myself, develop, get a few songs out with some bigger artists, and then while I'm working on my own discography, because I'm still working on my own music, you know what I'm saying? Like that's never gonna stop. It's just, I decided like right now in these next 3 years, it's going to be really more me developing, you know what I'm saying? Like really I put 3 to 6 years, because I'm not like in a rush to like be a huge artist or like in front of like huge crowds of people, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure when I am there, it's like on 10, like it's what I want it to be, you know? And,
yeah.
And I switched my name on my Instagram. A lot of people were like, yo, what's going on? Like it was like Couchboy Citrus, and like Couchboy Citrus, Nate Traveler, the same thing. It's like my Larry Fisherman almost, you know what I'm saying? But it's in the same sense, it's like it's everyone I feel like has to compromise comfort for progress at one point. And like that's like a huge thing that Couch is like symbolic of. It's like sometimes you're gonna have to sleep on the couch, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, even if you got the juice, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of kids out there that got the juice and they gotta compromise and still like work their path. So it's like that was a big reason. I'm glad I got to explain that. Like,
I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
for real. And yeah, just Florida citrus juice. Like, so it's like I feel like it's just a blueprint. It's like there's gonna be so many kids that can like listen and relate. And if I could like say like what I'm trying to do with my music, the best, most beautiful example that I could think of is The Fray, bro. Like The Fray.
I was gonna bring them up. I know. Like you're huge into The Fray. The
Fray is like my favorite band, bro. Like The Fray, nobody does it like The Fray, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like in my opinion, that's only my little opinion, but like, dude, just that lead singer Isaac, his voice, the way he holds his notes. Like if anybody, I almost feel like if you really like look at how I write, and then you like look at, write melodies, compose, not even the words necessarily, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at like how like I guess I compose like the lyrics and stuff, like I feel like he's a huge inspiration. Like I draw a lot of inspiration. The way he holds his notes to like make you feel it and shit like that. Like I just picked up a lot of my tricks from him and that whole band, you know, and just dude, like the way I don't have many artists that I could sing every one of your songs. Like, dude, I can sing like almost every phrase. I'm not gonna say every, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
dude, I'll go down and like I'll sing through like so many phrases.
I remember the day that like that night that I stayed the night at your house after the beach. Like we woke up the next day and like you were taking me home and stuff, and you were like jamming the fray, and I remember you saying even back then, you're like, nobody does it like them, dude. Like these people are on the next level. It's
just like to me, and it's like the older I got and like grew with them and like grew, like it's like they're so multi-dimensional with what they do, you know? It's like you could be like standing like right here and you see their song like this, you know, but then it's like you step over there from that angle and it's like, you ever seen one of those puzzles? Like,
yeah.
Or like works of art where you step and it's like a whole other, so it's like I feel like they're a band that just, bro, hits the spot so well, you know what I'm saying? Like they really do it. So that's like a huge inspiration, bro, like for real. Like if I could speak anything into existence, like it would be like I want to make as much of an impact as they did, you know, on kids like me.
You are, I feel like. I can
bro.
say that for me personally. Like,
I appreciate
you kill those notes, dude, and like that's not even like from like you're my boy, but like I'm just saying, like, dude, like listening to you, like your music, straight up, like you nail it, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, I second that. Like I said, it's not just because it's like a local artist thing, like supporting the homies. It's like, bro, like I said, that song with Busy, like I frequent that song because like whenever your chorus hits, dude, and it's like the notes you drag out, it like you said, when music can like hit you on a personal level, that music does that, dude. And I think it's interesting that you brought up the Fray, because I think that everyone has like that group or those couple of groups or those artists that like they just really, really love, and like maybe not everyone can understand, but that's because music's so personal. And like someone like me, I'm like really, really into Logic, and then like some of the metal bands I'm into, like some of my friends aren't into, and they don't understand why I am, but I understand why I am, you know what I'm saying? And then and I like that you talked about your music, like what'd you say, your process? That's what I was gonna ask, and that's why I'm glad that Biscuit's in here. Biscuit's in the studio with us because he produces music, and he was interested on how you go about it. And but no, one thing that it reminded me of. Do you know Joji?
Joji, no.
Well, there's a label 88 Rising, and George Miller.
Yes, I know a guy who writes for them.
Yeah, and George Miller, he's a dude that I've been following for a really long time, and he was a YouTuber, and he did like really crazy, like funny YouTube videos, and he had his huge fan base, but he was going to school for music, and the YouTube comedy was just like a side thing that he did while he was going to school in New York. And then like it's crazy seeing the backlash of people, because whenever he stopped YouTube completely, and he just like straight up said like, I'm done with YouTube, I graduated school, and like he was pursuing his dream of music. And I hate to see that like all his fans didn't turn on him, because like I was a fan through all of it, and I'm sure he had tons of people who were, because he's a popular musician now. But he is someone who took a similar route that you are taking, because I remember he had some rap stuff that he had done for like his YouTube channel, and he's a talented dude. Like he can produce music, he can rap, he can write and stuff, and like I was a fan of some of the rap that he did, and I was thinking that's where he was going with it. Like, oh, he's gonna be a rapper, that's pretty cool. But he didn't. He took a totally different route, and he's actually through 88 Rising, he writes a lot of stuff. He does features on stuff. He's like kind of the chorus dude on a lot of these dudes' raps, and their songs through 88 Rising. But he it's almost like people don't understand that sometimes you do need to like be out of the limelight a little bit, like doing your own thing, like creative process, because he produces a lot of the stuff, so you don't see him. Like he's not the one rapping and whatever. He's not the face of the brand, but there's these people that like kind of like hate him for it, and I'm like, dude, you gotta understand, like he's working on his own stuff. Like when he releases his own album, then it's good, and you understand this is what he's been working on. But then look at all the stuff he's been doing for other people too, and like he's just like a talented individual, and it's cool that you're taking that route, honestly.
Bro, it's important. I feel like it's so important to like really like build your kingdom before you invite anybody in, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, that's on a Jay Electronica song, I'm pretty sure they say it different, but that shit always stuck with me, you know what I'm saying? it's important to keep, it goes back to psychedelics really, you know, like growing mushrooms. It's like, or just regular mushrooms, you know, it's like when you're in the beginning of that process, you have to make sure that it is away from all bacteria. You want to keep it up on a higher shelf. So, you know, like even your breath, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things at the beginning of any process with music, it's like, it has to be like treated like incubation. You know what I'm saying? Like, there can be no bacteria. It doesn't even matter if it's a good opinion or a bad opinion. The opinion is bacteria. So it's like, like I don't even want to like put my character out there too far right now. I want to dial it back a little bit and just work, develop. Like, I don't have projects up my sleeve right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have songs, and I'll show you some unreleased stuff after we finish this up.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you already know. But, I got some stuff with Dom. We got some fun shit, dude.
I was gonna ask about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. That's sick. No, for real.
That being said, one thing that our producer Biscuit was wondering was, do you ever, whenever you've done anything that you've done in the past as far as music or features, are you ever influenced by like if you do something a certain way, a certain style, and you like change it up a little bit, and you see that the reaction is super, super positive, has that influenced where you go and when you do that, or is it pretty much all, like you said, incubation, you try to keep it separate?
That's a great question. It's like, I don't even know where I'm going with it. So it's like, nobody could ever even like, it's like, I'll take inspiration, I'll take what it is, I'll be like, alright, I'm thankful, but whenever I create, I try as hard as I can not to base it off anything I've created, you know what I'm saying? It's cause it's like, and you'll see that when I go through, like, these demos, you'll just see there's, like, a lot of different vibes that I hit, you know, cause I'm not, and that's another big part of me pulling back, is that I really wanna, like, hone in on what my vibe is. Cause, like, I know that if I'm doing this, I want to take it to a new level, you know, just like anybody else. So it's like I have homies out here taking it to a new level, and like homie, and it makes me so happy to see my homie shining, you know what I'm saying? But like, I want to take it to the next level on him, and so that he has to take it to the next level on me, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I feel like it's some Vegeta and Goku shit.
I was just thinking that.
G shit, that's what everybody says, bro. Like, even like when homie was out there, like, taking his meetings, like, I guess it was a conversation that even came up, like, at tables, just like, yo, y'all are, like, Goku and Vegeta.
That's awesome, dude.
For real, though, bro. I'm just thankful, bro, that I have people around me that inspire me to, like, unapologetically, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, when you got people that are snapping this hard around you, it's like, you gotta do something, dude. And that's why it's dope when I look and I see, like, you guys, you're doing something, bro. Like, you're not just, like, sitting here, like, allowing, like, your thoughts to completely eat you away. It's like, you still gotta go through those things. You still gotta feel those things. That's, like, almost fuel in a way. And then, you know, one day maybe we'll, like, break past it all, you know. I can't say I'm there yet. I believe that, like, it's honestly tricky, because it's like, I feel like this life in this world, it's like, there's always gonna be that, like, pain there, you know what I'm saying? But we'll definitely get to a point where we can just relax and just appreciate the good things, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The good thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was well said. For real,
dude. I don't even, and my thing is, like, I'm just rambling too, you know? Like, sometimes I'll say some shit and I'm like, like, it's like, I can't even like, claim these thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, like, roll with it. Just like anybody else, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, because if I did, it's just, it wouldn't even be real. It's like, it all comes from somewhere, you know?
Hell yeah, dude.
And even my music, it's like, I hear music, it's like, my music inspiration will never stop, because, like, there's so much, like, look at an artist like a meal, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna be able to, like, take something from every artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, like, that's the fine line between, like, inspiration and biting someone, you know what I'm saying? Also, same thing with just, like, hitting lanes, bro. Like, I would love to hit, like, Spanish music and stuff like that, you know, but I never want to be, like, but I'm Cuban, you know, my last name's Morales, so I feel like I can do it and get in finesse and get away with it.
You can, dude. You have that, you have that song Drowning with, Miguel, and he speaks Spanish on that, yes. And, like, I could see you going with that whole vibe,
straight too. Up. It's just that whole, like, even when I had dreads, like, I had some of that, like, cultural appropriation, like, backlash, and again, it goes back, bro, it's such a fine line, you know, between inspiration, it's like your intention, you know what I'm saying, like, between, like, inspiration and appropriation, like, that's another huge topic, bro, that is, like, you're gonna see a lot more of Because it's just like some art, you can't deny someone's inspiration if they get it from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm inspired by your culture, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta just, that's the highest compliment, honestly, when somebody kind of copies you.
That's true.
It's like,
yeah. I've like, one big thing is like with Native American stuff, like you said, it's on the intention, and and it's hard, kind of, there's a fine line, like you said, it's hard to like determine what is appropriation and what's appreciation. And like you see it sometimes, like one example that always got brought up to me, because I didn't really know, like it was hard for me to distinguish the difference. And one thing someone always told me was that like some of the Native American stuff, they'll like sell it in big stores like Walmart and Target and stuff, and they'll label it as like festival wear and stuff. And it's like, that's a culture that you're just using to like get money, because it's like what people wear to like these festivals and stuff.
Dude, and I heard, I went to like, I used to go to a lot of music festivals, and there was this group, I forgot what they were called, the Native American dudes. Forgot what they were called, dude. They had some slappers though. And they were performing, and I remember this one dude, he's just like, yo, like, tell that girl to take off her thing. Like, she had one of those big Native American, and like, they were just like, yo, like, this kind of, and I can feel them on that level. It's like, those big Native American headdresses, like, you'll never catch me rocking one of those.
Yeah, it means something.
Exactly. It's like, dude, exactly. So like, there's certain stuff like that to where it's like, I feel like that is where you might have crossed the fine line, you know, because it's like you're doing it like for the look of it, like at this festival, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can understand why they'd be like upset with like certain things. It's a tricky subject, honestly,
really
because it's like you never want to step on anyone's toes or make them feel misunderstood, you know what I'm saying? But in the same sense, like, you don't want to limit yourself on inspiration, you know?
Yeah. And that's something I think, like I said, over the past handful of months of being back in Florida and really like just going for it as like an artist and stuff like that, like, and just meeting these people and like kind of like determining for myself what art is and like what it means to me and stuff. One thing I really want to express through the people we meet through this podcast and stuff is like how personal art is, you know? And how if you're, like for me, I've drawn inspiration from a couple different people, like heavy on my grip tape art and stuff. And I have had to ask myself the question of like, am I copying this dude or am I using his techniques to like make my own stuff?
Exactly.
And there were some times where I had to back off and be like I gotta do my own thing. And then like you said with your music, how you try to just, you don't try to base it off anything you've done or anything or whatever, or like what the public's reaction is. That's something I've also dealt with visual art, because I know what the people want and what's going to make me money. And I've had people tell me, you need to do more of this because you're going to make a lot more money. Like Kava culture, people tell me all the time, they'll come up to my table and they appreciate my art, which is cool. I love that. But they're also giving me suggestions on what designs I should do because it'll sell, or what designs I should do because it'll sell. And I'm like, dude, I'm not selling shirts and hats. I'm selling art, you know? And like, this means something to me. And that's why like I talk about it all the time, how with my like anime stuff and whatever, I like doing it because I love these shows. I love Naruto. I love Dragon Ball Z. I love all this stuff. So whenever I'm like sometimes you just get that feeling where you're like, dude, this makes me so happy, bro. This show is so sick. It makes me so happy. And like when I create something, it's because it makes me so happy. And if other people dig it too and it sells, that's cool. That makes me feel good. But like I also try to stray away from that because that's someone else's art, you know, like the Dragon Ball Z characters, that's something Akira Toriyama made. That's his art. And if me just making a grip tape that looks like Goku, that's sick because Goku's sick and I love it, and someone will buy it because they want Goku on their board. But at the same time, I don't really like selling that stuff at somewhere like Kava culture where it's me presenting my art.
Yeah.
So whenever people tell me to do more of that, it's like I'm gonna do my own thing, you know? Like someone told me, I won't name any names, but someone told me to do like Dragon Ball Z characters wearing like Supreme stuff. Bro. And I'm like, you're right, that'll sell. There's probably a bunch of hype beasts here that'll buy that, but I'm not gonna do that because that means nothing to me. That'll like what I realize is once it becomes a chore, it's no longer art, you know? And if you're making something just to grind it out and to like, cause you know people are gonna feed into it and give you money or whatever, that's where it's not cool. And that's where I draw the line.
Definitely.
And like, I don't know, man. It's just like, this whole art thing has been a crazy road, dude.
It's dope. I'm honestly just like proud of you for even expressing yourself and even putting yourself out there on the level, bro. Like, first off, Professor Shred, super hard. That's like such a hard, just like, name.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, really.
I was telling Kyle about that in Pennsylvania when I was first coming up with the whole YouTube idea and whatever, and I was naming it Professor Shred, and then he's like, yo, that's sick. Whose YouTube channel you said that was? And I was like, that's the one I want to do. And he's like, you came up with that? And I was like, yeah, dude, Professor Shred.
I
was like,
bro. Like, immediately. Like,
yeah, I've tried branching, like, because my Instagram is just prof.shred. I've tried reaching out to the dude who has Professor Shred straight up, and he's got like an inactive account or something. Once I can get it to the level where like,
then you can hit Instagram.
Yeah, and
dude, I had a guy do that to me with Nate Traveler, bro.
Really? Is that why it's Nate Traveler?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but it actually works. It's crazy how this shit went down. So it's this like Swedish dude that like writes novels, bro, or like books, like long ass stories. And so like Nate Traveler is like the main character of one of his books, and it's this kid that like he had like some like rough upbringing. He gets recruited to be like a ghost hunter, like a demon hunter, I believe it was. And he ends up like putting together a team of demon hunters and like travels the world, and like, bro, just like I just thought it was crazy. I'm like, bro, okay. I messaged him, I was like, yo, can I get this handle, please? Like, he was just like, he was like, yo, like, I'm sorry, like, you seem like a really nice guy, and he explained, like, he didn't explain it at first, he was just like, no, you know, this is the main character of my book. I was like, alright, well, at least explain my character, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, and he told me, and I was like, alright, that's for all, I will let that ride, you know what I'm saying?
Is it spelled the same way, with 2 L's?
Literally.
What?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Part of me is like, I don't know, part of me feels like he's seen me, like, before, or some shit, he's just like, oh, I'm like,
that's hard.
And he just like was like, this kid's gonna glow or something, and so he just slid on my thing, slid on my handle, bro.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I'm just like, fuck it, dude. It's Nate Traveler. I switched to Catchboy Citrus. When I switched back, I was glad because I was just like, so many people were unfollowing me because they didn't know like what it was. You know what I'm saying? And then like I was just like, once I signed as Nate Traveler under Pulse, because for a second I was really gonna disconnect. I was gonna like have like I was gonna put Nate Traveler to the side and just kind of like, because Cowboy Citrus to me was like, so you can't put that in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like people have already tried to like put Nate Traveler in a box, especially these industry guys. Like when I said I did the lap and met some of these guys, like I'll probably never send any of these labels any of my shit early anymore. Like they can listen to it in person and then I'll leave and they can't have it. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment you give them their music, you're just a folder in their computer. You know what I'm saying? Like they think they understand you. They create this idea of who they think you are, and then it's like, and they feel like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want to be around anybody like that tries to put me in a box. You know what I'm saying?
That's super smart, dude.
Because I'm getting out of my own box. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like last thing I need is some like A&R like, trying to like figure out how to brand me. You know, like it's like I don't need you to brand me. I just want to make music. You know, and all that other shit will connect. You know, like Couchboy Citrus. Like I want to do like streetwear for like men and women. So it's gonna be like boy citrus and girl citrus.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. So like, I just like, there's certain shit like that where I'm just like, alright, and I already got the LLC, which is pretty fucking cool. Check this out. I just got Flex this one time. This is just so dope, bro. Like having like the...
What?
That's so sick.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I bossed up, but I really didn't. It's like no different, you know what I'm saying? It's like no matter what you have, it's like I'm still like not, like I said, it's like I'm not comfortable yet. If I was comfortable, it would be a huge disservice to like myself, like my career. Like, you gotta grow. It hurts, you know what I'm saying? The shit, you just gotta grow.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I don't know why. I had this thought pop into my head when you said fucking about the clothing thing. Mm-hmm. I had this idea. It's like, just tell him this idea. So I was like, alright, tell him.
Get it.
So for the men's side, bro, if this is ever a collab you wanted to do, for the men's side, I think it'd be cool to like do a like release clothes with 23 on them, and then for the girls do 24. So it's like 47. Because I remember like way in the past you told me you were like can't you see that like the men that are like high in the sports industry are like their numbers are 23, like Michael Jordan and shit, and like the girls are like Hope Solo, their numbers are like 24.
Bro, that's crazy. I was like, dude, we were so like on that tip.
Yeah,
there was this dude like, bro, there was this guy Marty Leeds 33, dude. Look it up. Marty Leeds 33, dude, on YouTube. He goes, dude, he like takes the alphabet, breaks it in half of it on top, half of it on the bottom, and then 1 through 7 up to G. G's the 7th, and then counts back down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then it's like, bro, when he starts like spelling out like the different like religions, like Buddha, Gautama. If I said that wrong, I'm terrible. Whatever. Lotus flower, heaven, earth. Like he starts like doing the numerology and like breaking down what it all adds up to. And like earth would add up to 23. Heaven would add up to 24. Lotus 23. Flower 24. Like bro, the dude goes through all of them to where it's like that, dude. Like it's just like I was like leaning back in my seat. That was like when we were first hopping on the 47 wave, and we're just like, and we're just like reading this, and it adds to 47, and me and Swell are just like, of course, of course,
it has to be,
bro. It has to be, bro. Like, bro,
yeah, that's crazy,
for real. And even that, dude, I kind of, I dialed it back on pushing 47 so much because like that's just something I feel like I just tucked away. And like I'm gonna make the most of it. I got a friggin' it on my arm, bro. I get looks, you know what I'm saying, for this, dude.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
You getting looks, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had like dude on a bike like stop me at an intersection, like when I was about to cross the street, like yo, like what is that? Like is that like da-da-da? Like and I'm just like it's a 47. You know what I'm saying? Like I just try to explain it as best as possible, but like the symbol is a Buddhist symbol originally, and from what I've like I obviously follow a lot of Pro Era, and like I really like I feel like I lean on them in a way, you know what I'm saying? They're just like a rock, like a huge rock for me. And I remember just hearing Dirty Sanchez, he was explaining, he was like, it's a Buddhist symbol that means it is good. And it's just crazy just to think that this symbol means it is good. And then people look at it and they think it's bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's like this like it's a powerful symbol, bro. Symbols are powerful. Think about that. You can just look at something and it immediately can create like this like reaction on your emotional body. Like that's powerful shit, you know? So it's like it's important that we use these things like correctly, which I haven't like fully dove into all that, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's very powerful, you know what I'm saying? And I know like steez and like all that, like it's just very real. Like them putting all those stickers all over the place, like 47 stickers, like crazy.
Yeah, right. And then my next question, because you have so you have that tatted there, and you have this here. What is that? As soon as I saw you get that, I was like, what is this about? So
this is if I would have got this on my third, I would have got signed for $3 million. No, but no, honey. So it's like if I could explain it, dude, it's like the sweetness, bro. Like it's like the innocence, it's the sweetness. So like Winnie the Pooh is my favorite growing up. Like I would always watch Winnie the Pooh, bro. It's my shit. Like everybody has a Piglet in their life. Everybody has a Eeyore in their life. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have these characters inside of us, you know. And I just feel like the honey was always the sweetness. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has the sweetness. It's the love. It's that like pure, uncut, like rawness of like when you're a child or like just when you empathize. You know what I'm saying? So I just got it kind of just to remind me, dude. Don actually bought this for me, dude.
Did he really?
Yeah, when he first came back, he was like, yo, like, I still gotta take you shopping, bro. I was like, bro, you don't gotta take me nothing. He was like, bro, fucking multimillionaire, bro. I was just like, I'm dead, dude. I'm like, alright, bet, let's just get you added then. And so homie got me the honey tat. And, but yeah, it just means a lot, bro. Cause it's like, no matter what, like, I value, what I choose to see in people is the sweetness, bro. Like, it's like I choose to see, like, the honey. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's just like, that's the truest part of myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I look at other people, I feel like I can find the sweetness, like, so easily. You know, like.
Yeah, I feel like you've always been that way from, like, looking from an outsider's perspective.
Thank you, bro. I got it from my mom, dude. My mom and dad, bro, just the way they raised me. It was like, they just made sure, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's certain things, like, you know, growing up, like, I was kind of a brat, dude. Like, I would kind of just have my lash out, and they would never, like, really hit me or anything, bro. They kind of let me steam out, blow my steam, and they wouldn't be too reactive. And then the older I got, the more I realized, you know what I'm saying? Like, how much space they were really giving me to kind of be myself. And how rude and like how different I was when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Because I was conflicted, bro. I was very scared when I was a kid. And it just, I grew and I began to understand that, you know, they love me so much and that they're here for me. And so it was just like this whole like breakthrough I came to like multiple times, you know what I'm saying? Just like my parents love me so much, you know, and I just want to do the best I can, and I want to transform myself and be the best person I can, you know, not even for me, like, but for them, you know, like I've had times even with this music where I've just been on my face, like face in the ground, just like, dude, I don't even deserve this, you know what I'm saying? Like part of me just feels like it's like part of me just feels like, damn, you know, like if I don't deserve this shit, my mom does, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we all have those feelings of doubt within ourselves, you know? And it's just like, that's just like, that was a real moment for me that I like really turned around and was just like, bro, there is no turning back. Cause it's like, even if I don't deserve this, my parents do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That's sick, man.
For real.
Yeah, your parents are sick, dude. They seem really cool. I met them one time. And,
for real. I remember, dude, like waking up, like whipping food for everyone.
You cooked the craziest, everything organic breakfast. Like, dude, it was amazing, bro. It tasted so good, too.
Bro, I love you guys, man. That's why it's like, I know that all that I'm worth is whatever I can do for others. Like, and like even saying that, like I have that part of that voice in my head that's like, like, you know what I'm saying? That you always want, there's that voice is always going to be there, you know what I'm saying? Like that wants to question your motives, even when you know where you're operating from. It's just like, do this shit for the love, you know what I'm saying? Like I do this shit, anything I do, bro, at this point it's because like I just want to I want to spread love and grow, you know what I'm saying? Because I've already felt what it feels like to like reap the negative, you know, like me putting out negatives. Like I'm at a point now where I feel like I'm really in my heart, and like, so when I do lash out and have a negative reaction, I feel like it comes back immediately. Like, so, like, I feel like I'm in a position where I can't even be like too much of a dick anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm in check, dude, like 24/7. Just like, I feel it immediately, man. Like, even if someone is like out of pocket, I feel like truly in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get home and I think about their sweetness, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, think about how I just completely lashed out and like that wasn't my essence, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's some shit I really live by, bro. like it's, I'll get on myself hard if I'm not really trying to treat people with respect and be nice, you know, at least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a good person, bro.
Thank you, bro. I feel like it takes, like, you gotta, to see it in me, it has to be behind your eyes too, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, like, believe it or not, a lot of, like, the way I live my life is literally what I learned from you growing up. I mean, it was just the time, like, the age and the time of, like, how I hung out with you was the age I was trying to figure out, like, who I'm gonna be. Mm-hmm. And I was with you a lot at the time, and, like, so, like, that's how I turned out, dude. And,
bro,
like,
that means a lot to me, bro, you know, because, like, that's just, like, again, an affirmation, like, of purpose, you know, like, in my own life. I'm like, bro, you're a great guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a great guy. It's like, it makes me feel good, bro. That's what it's about, honestly. This is literally what it's about, bro. Like, coming together and enjoying each other, appreciating what we bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's all anybody wants, bro. Like, and that is, like, bro, that, it just all goes back to the sweetness, for real, bro. Like.
Hell yeah, dude. That's sick. Fuck yeah. For real.
Can we wrap it up?
Get it.
I do have one more thing.
Drop it on me.
So do you live in LA now?
Yeah, so I'm literally moving out, dude, within the next week, you know.
I figured this was the transition period just by time.
Yeah, I'm gonna ship my, car out there and just freaking bang it out. I'm gonna get like a 6-month lease and just try to grind it out. Not even try to, like, I'm gonna just grind it out there and just do my thing. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of fun, you know, like, back to the process. It's like the way I'll be able to do this is, and some people would look at this kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? More along the lines of, like, the industry. But, like, it's cool because the way I can do things, like, so, and I'll send you, or I'll show you guys this thing that I sent out for Kalani and Khalid. But, like, they'll send me a beat, and it's cool because the type of artist I am, it's like, I love melodies. I can find melodies. So it's like, what I'll do is I'll just, like, every 4 bars I'll switch the melody and flow completely. So it's like, I'm not even giving them a song structure, really. I'm giving them the beat that they gave me with a bunch of options every 4 bars. So, like, every 4 bars, it's going to switch into a whole other flow and melody. So it's like, even if they don't take my words, it's like, there's going to be at least one melody, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty, like I love my melodies. Like, that they'll take. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I feel like I'm in a great position to just really like work, put out music and make money off of my music, which is very important in surviving. You know what I'm saying? And getting myself in a position to do it right. You know what I'm saying, for myself? Because eventually I haven't signed a record deal, you know, so I could still go like I got my publishing deal. I can go independent. You know, it's a co-publishing deal. Mm-hmm. I don't have to sign, but really, I think I'm gonna sign to Pulse. Like once they really see what I'm made of as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like right now they're looking at me as more of a writer. I'm signed as a writer, but when they really see like how like my artist is gonna come into fruition, like I know they're gonna be behind it. And my A&R's already mentioned it to me. You know, like he wants me to work on my own stuff. He's like, you know, if I ever send you something, you write something, and you know it's you, not them, let me know. We've had that conversation. I feel like those conversations don't happen at labels or at like big. Right. I feel like it's like if it's some shit and it's like, and it's really hitting, you know, they're gonna be like, well, this guy's got fucking millions of followers, so why would we release it through you? You know what I'm saying? And it's like I already signed the piece of paper, so it's like, but I have a really strong team around me. That's one thing that I can say, like, dude, and like even outside of Pulse, like my management, bro, is I believe like probably one of the strongest management teams, and they're not managing. I'm the only artist they're managing right now, so it's it's not like a management company. I was gonna go meet with Electric Feel, which is like the dude that wanted to manage me supposedly found Post Malone. If you get out here, it's a fucking legend, dude. Supposedly everybody found Post Malone, dude. Like when you start getting around, everyone's like, "Oh, I found Post, bro." Like everyone's like salty about it. I wonder how to be with Dom, but like, dude, like I found Dominic Fike. Like it's like, nah, he found himself, bro. But yeah. Fuck, I don't even know where I was going. But yo, I'm so thankful that you guys had me on today, for real. Like honestly, I'm glad I could make it out, bro. I never wanted you to think I was flagging on you about that. I was really struggling with money. Like I'm someone that like, has trouble with like managing money, and at that time I hadn't like, you know, really like got solid with that. So like, I came back and I like withdrew my TuneCore, and then I just went on, I blew my money on that survival tip. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't like, but I'm really glad that, you know, you followed up. I'm glad that you got me out here. You reached out, bro. Oh, yeah. It's my pleasure.
I wanted to say before we wrap it up, like, thank you for sure for coming out, dude. That means like a huge thing to me and to us. And like, it was great to fucking wrap up with you and catch up on like old times. Like, as the years went on, like, I was fucking watching you like just fucking stack up and just make it and just like become huge. And I'm just like, dude, Nate was like a good friend. So like, I'm glad we got to sit here today. And like, I just want to say, like, if you're ever in the fucking area, you ever need anything, dude, I'm just a call away. Like, hit me up. We definitely gotta link up like this.
Bro, definitely.
As the years go on.
I got you. I look at this like lifelong shit, bro. Like, these are seeds. Like, this is the beginning of like very like beautiful lifelong relationships, bro. Like, genuinely, I believe that.
Hell yeah.
That's what this podcast is all about.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, Nate, love you, bro.
Love you too, bro. I love both of you guys, bro.
Yeah,
and what you're doing.
And it's great to have you as the first guest, especially like what you were saying about the honey, dude, because like you said, this is what it's all about, bro. Like anyone we get in here is because like we see that in them, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And we know that like any conversation here can be a seed to like something beautiful.
Exactly.
You know, and to anyone out there who is going to be a guest, bro, it's gonna be a great time. You know, this is just the beginning.
Exactly, just the beginning, bro. I'm gonna see you guys do big things, dude. We're all gonna reflect each other.
Straight up. Thank you.
It's all about the intentions, man. Good intentions.
Straight up.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much to Nate Traveler. We've been talking about his music the whole podcast. If you have not checked out Nate Traveler, he's on pretty much all platforms:
Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Tidal, all of them.
Yep, he's got great features. He's got great tracks of his own, and there's a whole lot more from here. So you want to say anything else before we wrap up, Danny?
Go check him out.
All right, check him out. Hit him with that outro, Biscuit.
Hey. Hell yeah.